Hi friends, we were discussing about pivot table in the last two classes. We have already learned how to insert pivot table and how we can make different types of report simply by dragging and dropping of the fields into the pivot table. Today we are going to make reports, that is using date, that is how we can analyze the data by grouping date into months, year, and also the required number of days. That is, we can group date into all these, that is monthly wise, yearly wise, and number of days we require or weekly report can be easily generated by pivot table, that we are going to learn today. This is actually the continuation of the last two classes. Here we have a very large database, about more than 800 rows are there. Actually in Excel we can have 10,48,576 rows, it's a maximum for that. So when we are using a very big database, so some precautions to be taken while using this and converting this into pivot table, that we are going to discuss first. So as usual, we select one of the cell and hold the control key and press T, that means control T, and this converted into a table. We discussed in the last class, it is a practice or a custom to keep the data in a table format while creating pivot table. So while creating pivot table, we have to keep the data in table format, not in the range format. That will be better. So because we have discussed it in the lesson 32 about the Excel table, you can watch that. So click OK. So it is converted into the table. Then we want to insert the pivot table. So just simply click. So this we discussed in the new worksheet. A Excel template will be created. So here this. So in the last video, we just drag this and drop here. That is actually we have done. So when we are using a very large database, every time this drag and drop will make the calculations. So if you are using a very large database, you will consume the memory and CPU will be have more load and etc. So in order to avoid this, we can have some other technique. That is, here at the bottom of this pivot table field, you can see that a differ layout update checkbox. So when you check this, there comes a update button also. Now you cannot drag and drop. When you drag and drop here, there will be a error message. You cannot drag and drop, but you can click and drag, and this can be placed in the area. So we drop it in the rows. Then again, next suppose we want the product at the columns, and here no changes take place. So then total sales in the values, and suppose we want region wise filtering, we drag it into filter, nothing happens here. So there is no load on CPU or in the memory. Now what we do is just click on the update button. When you click on the update button, you can see the changes here immediately. So one time calculations and everything is okay. We have the calculated data in the pivot table. But when you keep this checked in pivot table analysis, most of the buttons are inactive. So in order to make this active, and we have to do some other work on this pivot table, so just untick this, uncheck the checkbox of differ layout update. So when you uncheck this, you can see that all the buttons are active. So in this way we can reduce the memory. So whenever we want to make more calculations and other things, you just check this and do this and update, then you can uncheck this. So we uncheck the differ layout update in order to get these commands active. So uncheck this. So we can have some calculations. Suppose we want to convert this month wise report, that is what are the total sales for every month. So select the date, and you can see in the pivot analysis, pivot table analyze, that is some type group selection and group field. Click on the group field. So a dialog box appears. If you click on the group selection also, same dialog box appears. So here starting date, that is a starting date of our data. End date, almost it will be end date, either it may be the end of the month date. So you select the month. Then when you click OK, you can see that our data is just converted into month-wise report. Month-wise total is available here. You can filter and filter on according to region. We are not going to much details. You can click select multiple so that you can filter on multiple region, etc. So we discussed this in the filter options, sorting and filter. So we are not going to the details. So here month-wise report is available. Then if you want, again you click here. If you want to instead of month you want only, so you can click, and when you click it, the month is highlighted. When you again click, it is dehighlighted. Then you can select year. Suppose you want year-wise report, then select the year and click OK. So now year-wise total and sales are available. Again, if you want, again you want the group field, you can select this date field and right click, a context menu appears, and group, here you can click on the group. Then again same dialog box appears. If you want month wise and year wise, you can select both. When you click on this, everything will be selected. If you want to deselect, you want to click again, just like a toggle button. So click OK. So now you have year wise report. You can minimize this also. When you click here, we have year wise report. When you can expand this also. So in this way we can have the year wise and month wise report by grouping the field. Suppose we want to know the total sales by each salesperson, so we can just click and drag and drop here. Click the salesperson, select it and drag and drop the here. So now in the month of October, each salesperson sales and October grand total is available. And suppose we want to move this, we can click and drag to bring to the first one, or we can just click here on the drop down menu. Then there will be menu is there. Then move up, you can move up or move to the beginning. So just move up. Then the sales of each salesperson by month is available, and grand total of each salesperson also available. So if you don't want this, we can just uncheck, then it is over. Then again, if you want the sales region wise, here region already selected, you can move this region, click and drag and drop here. So this is the region wise sales. Here also you can move region for obtaining month-wise sales of each region. So this is the month-wise sales of each region. Then you can move this up and down. For suppose if you move this up, then this is the region-wise sales in each month is available. So in this way we can have multiple type of reports very easily, simply by clicking and dragging the field. Suppose we want the sales report by not by year wise, we can collapse and expand by clicking here. Suppose we want by 7 days sales report or 10 days sales report. So how can we do that? So pivot table analyze, take the pivot table analyze, again group field. You can just unselect the month and year, then select the days. When you select the days, you can see number of days is active. Then you can just type here, suppose 5 days, or you can click the up arrow, down arrow. So for suppose we have 7 days, for an example we take 7 days, you can change the days in accordance with your need, then click OK. Then here we can drag this here, 7 days report by region. Suppose we don't want the region wise report, then you can just untick this, then 7 days report for 1 to 7, then 8 to 14, and all the report is available with all regions. So in this way we can have days wise report also. So now we have seen month wise, year wise, and days wise also. So very easily, simply by selecting and unselecting or dragging and dropping, we can have different type of reports in accordance with our needs. So we can ungroup this by simply clicking this one, and we have the initial stage of pivot table. And suppose we want again, for suppose we select month, year, etc. Okay, then again we have sales wise. So here we can filter this. So you can select, suppose you want Anil only, you can have this. Then again Gayatri, you can again select Gayatri and click OK. Then Gayatri will be filtered, and we can take the print. Suppose it is very time consuming and we want this salesperson wise report in separate sheet. So what we do? So what we do is we select the all here. Okay, we want this. Then select the person, salesperson, and go to the pivot table analyze. You can see option. So option menu, we have discussed some part of option menu. Then select drop down, click on the drop down button. Then you can see show report filter pages. So simply click on this, then there will be a dialog box and salesperson. So when you click OK, you can see that before the sheet 1, each salesperson have a separate sheet of report. A new sheet will be created on the name of the salesperson, and separate report for each salesperson will be created. We just click OK. Click OK. You can see that Anil's report is there. Gayatri, Priya, Ramesh, and Sneha. All these are the 5 salesperson just before the master pivot table created. And similarly, suppose we want, instead of salesperson, we want region wise report. So we can drag this into the filter, and by here we can filter, select multiple items and etc. That is, what is filtering, we have discussed in the previous lessons. So here we want region wise report. Similarly, go to the pivot table analyze, then click on the drop down menu of options, again click here. Here the dialog box is region. So when you click OK, before the sheet 1, the different region, there will be new sheet will be created naming the region. So region wise report can be available by simply clicking OK. So you can see that new sheet is created. You can see sheet 1 is there. Then this is the data sheet, sheet 1, west, south, north, east and central. In this way, we can have separate report in separate sheet. Suppose this is our data. We make some changes on this data. So this in the table, Excel table format. So don't type here new data. Just click on the last cell and press tab. A new row is automatically created. Then it will come under the range of the table. Now the table range is updated and our pivot table range also updated, because we have created table. That is why I told you that it is the best practice to convert your range into a table before creating a pivot table. Suppose we want a new item, we have to type here 0, 9, 25. Then suppose it is about Anil, then central region, then tablet, 2 tablet, 35,000 we added. So press enter. So a new data is added into the data sheet. So again, you just to go here, we have Anil, central and tablet. So click on the Anil, then here you can see tablet total is September we have added the last row. So 1,19,000, no change. Then central, you just remember this, there is no sales in tablet. Then also we have in sheet 1 total is, this is 22 lakhs 10,000. So now there is no updation. This is the initial. So go to the pivot table. Then you can see that there is a refresh command. Then click on this. So it's a drop down menu appears. You can click refresh. Then if you have multiple database and multiple pivot table, different pivot table, you have to click on refresh all. So now we click just refresh only, then the pivot table will be updated. First change we can see here, 22 lakhs 10,000, instead of there will be a 34,000 will be added. You can see 22 lakh 44,000. You can go to central. So there was no sales in tablet. Here it was blank, 35,000 is added. Then in the case of Anil also, it was 1,19,000. It becomes adding 34,000, 1,53,000. In this way, we can, if new data is added, we can refresh it easily. And suppose we are not using a table, then what we have to do is we have to make changes for the range of pivot table in order to bring the change in the values we added before refreshing. If you are creating a table, the range will be automatically updated. So we have discussed so many factors, and this is not completed. Pivot table is not completed. We have to discuss how to create that is chart is created, how we can add slicer and timer and etc. So in coming lessons we will discuss all these things. Okay, till then you wait for the next week. So thank you for watching the lesson. Goodbye.